Rob McEniry, what has Mitsubishi Motors Australia announced today?
Well, Mitsubishi Motors Australia is a committed and long-term player in the Australian automotive market. Today announced a new way of doing business going into the future. And the decision to approach the business in a different way is primarily based on changing consumer behaviours and buying patterns that we have seen developing in Australia and reflective of global trends. But unfortunately, as a result of that, we have announced today that we will discontinue the local production of the 380 sedan in Adelaide. Now, that's the only vehicle that's affected. No other product that we sell in Australia is affected by this decision.
What's prompted the decision?
We've seen over recent years a significant structural change in the fabric of the Australian automotive market and a change in buying patterns from our customers. And there's been a significant shift within that from the large car sedan segment, and we, from our forecasts and the trends we see occurring, do not see that sales volume returning to the large passenger sedan segment in this market. And as a result of that, and looking at the opportunities elsewhere in export markets and the impact of exchange rates today and our forecast of exchange rates, we simply can't see that volume coming back. And as a result of that, we've had to make this regrettable decision.
What other options did Mitsubishi consider before deciding to proceed with a plant closure?
We looked at all options available to us, but unfortunately none were economically or financially realistic or viable. We looked at successor models in that segment. We looked at second line production of another car line in the plant. We looked at smaller vehicles, assembly of smaller vehicles, light commercial and SUV vehicles, and other opportunities that may have been available. But simply to get the volume base and the throughput, it's just not, for us, not financially viable and economic. And so we did look at every possibility, but unfortunately none of them made any financial sense.
What does this mean in terms of Mitsubishi's long-term future in Australia? Is Mitsubishi leaving for good?
Oh, on the contrary, Mitsubishi is a long-term, committed, successful player in the Australian automotive market. And we have a very wide range of products that we sell in Australia, covering products such as the Colt, the very successful Lancer, Grandis, the Outlander, which is growing consistently in strength, the Pajero, the Triton, and the Express van. And in fact, we'll be introducing another 7 new models this year, and then more in the following years. So we are very committed to the Australian market, and our goal is to grow and be very prosperous and successful in the Australian market. In addition, our nationwide dealer network is one of the strongest dealer networks in the Australian market, and we have over 200 dealers in Australia, highly trained, skilled technicians and sales and service staff. So our future looks very strong, and we intend to grow our presence in the Australian market.
What are the implications for staff at the factory?
We are very committed to our staff. It's really a hallmark of Mitsubishi, and we have assured them that their entitlements, their full entitlements and separation packages are totally funded, protected and guaranteed by Mitsubishi. Our staff are really quite extraordinary. They're a very loyal, dedicated, highly skilled group. And we'll be working with each and every one of them as they transition out of the organisation into new careers through retraining, skills development, outplacement services, etc. Unfortunately, the decision does mean that we will lose about 930 of our colleagues who will leave the company and move on to new careers if that's their choice.
What about customers who've bought the 380? Will they still be able to have their vehicles serviced and supported?
Any of our customers, 380 or any other of our vehicle customers, are totally protected by Mitsubishi and our extensive nationwide dealer network of over 200 dealer points. So our 380 customers can have absolute peace of mind and be reassured that they'll receive the full backing of Mitsubishi and the dealer network in parts and accessories support, in warranty support, in full service support, whatever their requirements are of any vehicle under any normal circumstances. That's the level of support they'll receive.
Was state or federal government assistance a factor in this decision, and what happens now?
Let me be very clear about this. We have not and are not seeking any assistance from the governments, be it the South Australian or the federal government. That has not been and is not a factor in the decision we've made today. Our decision has been made purely on changing market conditions and with responsible commercial decision making. In terms of any assistance or benefits that may have come to the industry, we have received normal or standard duty offsets on some of our vehicles, and in addition to that, the only assistance we've received is a repayable conditional $35 million grant that was granted to us by the South Australian government for the development of the 380 product, and that loan is repayable.